What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wars of the Stars. Today is episode 38. Today, Alex and I are going to review Solo, a Star Wars story. We will also touch on Adam Warlock being officially casted in the MCU. Chloe Zhao talked a little bit about the Eternals. We'll talk about Agatha Harkness getting her own Disney Plus show, possibly. And we'll also talk about Kumail Nanjiani's comments about Obi-Wan Kenobi. If I sound congested, it was because I've been sick. I didn't feel great Sunday or Monday. I'm getting over it. I was able to go to school and stuff. It's not COVID, so don't say that. But Alex, how's it going, my man? We haven't talked in a while. How's it going?
A while. It's been like
a week.
Hold on.
A week. Wednesday.
It's only been 168 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been crazy. Let's just say that.
Really? Why do you say that?
School and whatnot. Just. I'm sorry. Sorry. The one time I still happened to go onto Facebook. I gotta stop. I gotta stop right now. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses, by the way, I have my ring light right here, and it is super bright. And every time I do it, I have to like wince to see. So glasses it is for now.
What an interesting way to start the show, a Facebook reference.
I'm sorry. It was literally the one time I logged on to Facebook. Like I accidentally hit the Facebook icon. And the people who I got my Iron Man files from, they're releasing this.
Oh.
Ultimate Ultron. Nice. So now I'm thinking I might have to buy it. But
yeah. Well, I don't know why I wanted to go on that side tangent. But anyways, guys, we have no announcements. We do have one that I will mention. I just found out because my school does this weird thing when we like have a holiday. They usually have another day off within that week. So this past week, I had Friday off. So I had a 4-day weekend because I also had Monday off for the holiday. And then for Veterans Day, that is on Thursday this year, Thursday, November 11th. I have that day off. And then I have that Friday off as well. So I will be home all day for Disney Plus Day. So we're scheduled to do a stream then. So we will still do a stream. But my preliminary idea is for me, I don't think you're home that day. I think you got school.
What day is Disney Plus Day?
November the 12th. Friday, November
12th. We have a lot of days next month off. So, because we have Thanksgiving break and then we have a bunch of like teacher days. So then we can just all take off. So I'd have to check. So.
Yeah, but if Alex isn't off, I might just stream all day and we'll talk about the announcements and the trailers and stuff. But that's the only announcement I have. So without further ado.
Oh, wait. And we have a podcast announcement for next week. Because next Wednesday, I won't be here because I have a mandatory work meeting.
Correct. So we'll have to figure out a day then. We'll have to figure out another day to do it.
We'll have to do it. We could potentially do it Tuesday, Thursday, or on the weekends.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So we're left at TBD right now, what to do there.
We'll figure it out. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, anyways, guys, it's been 5 minutes. We haven't even got to our main topic. Just how dysfunctional the show is.
Dysfunctional, that just shows how good we are.
Right. All right, guys, time to move into our main topic today, which is Solo, a Star Wars story. So before Alex and I get into our good, meh, and bad, I want to ask Alex first. What did you think about this movie? Before you rewatched it, what were your thoughts on it? Like, and how did your thoughts change?
So look, I'll be straight up honest. When we were supposed to do this rewatch, I didn't rewatch it. I didn't have time, but I also already knew how I solidly felt about this movie. And I think I talked to you, Drew, about it multiple times. I love this movie. I don't understand how people can even remotely hate on the movie. There are a few things that are just like, some things could have been better. But I think ultimately what holds this thing down from being the best Star Wars film is there's just better options. I think that's in my opinion. I think this is I'd say a near perfect Star Wars movie. Again, there are some things that are just like, they're kind of just like, oh, that could have been handled a little better. But soundtrack is awesome in this movie. Characters are great in this movie. There are some missteps with some people that I'm sure we'll talk about. So what do you think, Drew?
So I won't get into my overall thoughts yet, but before this rewatch, this movie kept creeping up on my list, even though I hadn't rewatched it, because I think other movies were moving down. Like Solo was approaching a top 5 Star Wars movie for me. Um, I've only seen it once or twice since it came out in 2018, and I think I initially really loved it in the theaters because I adamantly disliked The Last Jedi, and Solo was kind of everything I wanted The Last Jedi to be. Kind of nostalgic, dealt with a fan favorite character like Han. Um, so that's how I felt about Solo, and I just loved all of it. It was so familiar and different at the same time, but great. Uh, I will say my thoughts changed on the film a lot.
Without spoilers, in a good or a negative way.
Okay, it's not terrible, so it's not negative, but the movie is definitely not as good as I originally remember on my first couple of times I watched it. It's definitely, it's middle of the pack. We'll just put it that way. But before I go any further, what were your overall thoughts on your rewatch that you did 2 months ago?
I honestly agree. I think this is the most middle of the run movie. I think again, it's like I said, I think everything works in this movie, but the things that don't work, they're kind of like the sore thumb of the movie. They're just like, well, okay. And I also just again, I think they're just better movies than it, and it kind of hinders it down. Because like when I talk about the MCU and I talk about the DC EU or the Arrowverse or whatever, when I think about it, when I want to rewatch something, like for instance, I'll use the show I always use to compare everything to, apparently, Arrow. Now, if you were asking me, Alex, would you rather rewatch Arrow season 1 or Arrow season 4? I'll laugh in your face if you ever try to make me rewatch Arrow season 4. But I'll always rewatch season 1. Solo kind of feels the same way. Like, why would I want to rewatch it? I think honestly, this movie kind of serves as a, you watch it once or twice, you don't have to watch it again. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I feel like it's just there.
It
Like
kind of just feels that way. Like
it's just there.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, like I think a lot of people, including myself, around the time the movie got announced, what was the point?
Right.
Because there was almost nothing that they took from Legends that they altered in serious ways. They added on, but his backstory was the same. It was just like, make a book then.
Yeah, it was really odd, and then all the production problems it had with directors getting fired and that leaving and writers, and it was just really weird. And then when it came out, it had to compete with Infinity War and Deadpool, so the movie made no money compared to others. I mean, it made money, but it didn't make money compared to other Star Wars films. The marketing was horrible. Like this film was put in a really bad position. I loved it at first, but I think my thoughts have definitely changed. I'll get into my overall thoughts now. I took some notes. I said that I thought the movie was worse than the first time I rewatched it. Like I said earlier, I had this movie like creeping into my top 5. I felt like it was oversaturated with action sequences. I feel like this is just one big action piece half the time. We went from like Corellia to Midban, then the train heist, And then we got some downtime with the characters, which was one of the best parts of the film. And then we're like, oh, we're at the end, and we have to fight Crimson Dawn and Dryden Voss, played by the great Paul Bettany. I felt like the first half of this movie was just action sequence after action sequence. I feel like it is the one of the worst paced Star Wars films, and The Rise of
Really?
Skywalker is the worst paced by far. But I think Solo, like, there's a big gap between those two films pacing wise, but Solo was not paced that well. There's a lot of stuff happening,
Hmm.
but there's not a lot of downtime that I really
Yeah.
value.
I
There's
think.
just a lot of action sequences that I
Yeah. I think
so,
honestly,
too much.
revising. I think some of the worst paced Star Wars movies. If I had to like put together like the ones
Attack of the Clones.
that immediately come to mind, and one of these are going to surprise you. Okay, Rise of Skywalker. It's too fast of a movie. Too much happens too fast. You can't comprehend it. Um, Attack of the Clones for sure.
Right.
Too slow.
Slow.
Too slow. And when the action picks up, the movie's already over.
Right.
So, and then again, you're gonna find this surprising. I think the Last Jedi is like really poorly paced. I think
I would
it's
agree with you on that.
I think it's too slow in some areas, and it kind of has the Last Jedi problem or Attack of the Clones problem. It picks up. It's too late. It's the end of the movie. Well, I wouldn't say that because when Rey gets on the supremacy, it really starts to pick up. But it's
Right.
for me at that point in the movie, it's still my favorite Star Wars movie. Months after our rewatch and whatnot, um, I still it still just feels too slow. But I also kind of think it works to the movie's benefit. It slows down. It's much slower than The Force Awakens, which I'd say is decently paced. But also, I have to throw it in there. I know you're gonna disagree with me all the way to your core, but Return of the Jedi. Sorry, sorry. First act,
Absolutely not.
first act on me going like this the entire time.
I love that first act. I'm sorry I had to say that. But to get back uh, to my overall thoughts, I think another problem I have is Han Solo was like my sixth favorite character in this film. Alex,
Really?
I think we've talked about this a little bit.
Okay.
How I, in a comic book or a superhero or mythological or fantasy story, the main hero or the main villain has to be like a top three character. They both have to be. I didn't feel that with Han. And I
Mm-hmm.
will say, when I originally watched this movie, I felt like Alden was very much Han. When I watched it this time, I had moments where it felt like Han Solo, and then I had moments where I felt like it was the guy trying to pretend it was Han Solo.
Really? I never felt that way. I
I
never felt that way.
I don't know what it was this time, Alex, but I didn't get the Han feel at some points.
Yeah. I
I
like.
think he's great, and to be honest, I want to see more of him as Han. But and we'll talk about that later. But I didn't get the Han Solo vibe, and as I say in my show notes, I said that my favorite characters were Lando. Donald Glover killed it.
Easily the best person in the movie.
Beckett, Woody Harrelson was fantastic. Like I did
Oh, man's killing it right now.
right. Kira, just the
Really
mystery behind
good.
her character, just the mystery, not even Amelia Clark's performance, just the mystery behind her character. In the
Absolutely.
limited stuff we got with Dryden Voss,
Such a good underrated villain.
we only get like 7 to 10 minutes with him, but he's so good.
He he's he is someone who um it's so hard to imagine someone like him also playing Vision. When I think of Paul Bettany, I don't think of Dryden Voss, which isn't
No,
necessarily a bad thing. I think of Vision. I think of all the wise things he says. And this movie, he's asking Kira, why should I not kill them?
right. It's just a menace to society.
It's just like, okay, we're being that kind of villain.
Like we see him
Um,
murk a guy, like when we first meet him. He just murks a dude.
just stab someone.
Right, but I feel like he also kind of goes out like a bitch at the end. Um,
Mm,
but I wish we got a little. I think we're gonna get him in the Bad Batch because we have his animated figure on
yeah,
the Clone Wars season 7, so I definitely think we see him again. And I
yeah.
want more of his character, how he rose to power. But Paul Bettany did a fantastic job of playing
Really
Dryden
good
Voss,
villain.
and I
I don't.
never got. Okay, of course, the premise that he is Vision was in my head, but I never thought, oh shit, that's Vision.
Yeah, and I never felt that way either. I never felt like, oh, I can only see him as Vision. That's kind of like how for a long time I was with Sebastian Stan. I kind of am getting behind him being a Luke, but he'll always be Bucky Barnes.
Right.
Now there are some actors in the MCU, but like Anthony Mackie, I don't think I'll always see him as Falcon.
No.
I don't. But like again, they're just gonna be those people: Sebastian Stan, Robert Downey Jr. I just won't see them as anything but their MCU characters.
Tom Hiddleston. I'd even say Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. All the Toms.
Yeah.
And all the Chris's too.
Yeah.
But do you know there except one of the Chris's, Chris Evans. I don't think I'll always see him as Captain America.
I don't think so either. Hemsworth. I would say Hemsworth. I could see in other movies.
I'm about to watch Extraction. I'm so excited to watch it.
Yeah,
I saw
I haven't seen it. It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah,
I have to watch it. Yeah, but back to Solo, and again, Dryden was a great villain. I wish we got more of him. But yeah, and I was disappointed with Han. He was like the sixth best character in this film.
Which okay, I'll say that. I'll say this. I don't think he was sixth best in my personal opinion. I think Dryden was up there. He was just a good menacing villain.
Yeah.
I think honestly, this movie did something that I feel like Disney should have done a long time ago when they had Star Wars. There was no force in this movie. Like there was Darth Maul in the movie, but he wasn't the villain, the overall villain of the movie. It was Dryden Voss.
Right.
There was no Jedi stuff in this. There was no any of that. Which was
great.
It was great. It was a heist movie at the end of the day, and it feels like a breath of fresh air when you first watch this movie. After you come off of things like the sequels or the prequels, especially, or the originals, Clone Wars, Rebels. There's just so much Jedi stuff, Sith stuff, lightsabers. It feels overwhelming to a degree.
Yeah, you're oversaturated with it. Yeah, it's just too much.
This movie has like a 10-second clip of a lightsaber?
Right.
If that, like maybe even shorter.
And it's like one of the biggest fan service moments in Star Wars. It just feels so unnecessary, but it's cool.
Absolutely. Which also, I remember when this movie came out, I remember freaking out in the theater. Oh my gosh, it's Maul. He's back in movies. I had some, I think it was like a couple or whatever. How was he alive? When I tell you, I gave them the dirtiest.
My dad did the same thing. My dad's like, did this dude get chopped in half? I'm like, yeah, but you got to watch a whole animated show.
My dad did the same thing. And I was just like, on the car ride home, I was like, so this is what happened. And he
was a spider thing a long time ago.
I remember, and this will always live in my head, rent free. My dad said, that was the stupidest shit you've ever told me. I was like, it sounds stupid on paper, but it works. It works.
And I guess this is like a really good segue to something else I want to talk about. Do you think this deserves a sequel?
Yes.
I 100% agree. Like, it doesn't even have to have Han in it.
I think here's the thing. I think out of the 3 anthology films we got, Clone Wars movie, Rogue One, and Solo, this deserves a sequel the most. People have been saying they want a Rogue One Part 2.
Rogue 2.
But it's just like, why though? It's complete. It literally ties into A New Hope.
Well, I think I heard somebody talking about it. They want to see Rogue 2, where they get the Death Star plans for the second Death Star. But I feel like that's just so stupid. I already saw it.
Yeah, it kind of just feels like, oh, what are we gonna have Rogue 3 for Starkiller Base?
Yeah.
It's like, no, stop. And then Clone Wars movie, we basically got that with season 7. So, and it didn't need a movie in the first place.
Oh, keep going.
So no, I was just gonna say, I think Solo would honestly benefit from a sequel,
but
highly benefit.
My thing is that They're definitely setting one up. You don't just throw Darth Maul in there or Maul.
Especially with the comics, with the War of the Bounty Hunters, especially what's going on with that stuff.
Right. So it's like I don't read the comics, but I was looking. I'm like, Kira is fighting Darth Vader. Why the hell is this not in a TV show or something like that?
Yeah.
Like even make I would. I don't even think it has to be Solo too. Crimson Dawn starring Emilia Clarke as Kira.
Mm-hmm.
Have it on Disney Plus, and it just go through her taking over Crimson Dawn, her meeting Maul, how she took over everything. How long does it last? Because we know it lasts now until
at least Return of the Jedi. So
right.
Solo takes place. Trying to think of time.
It's a 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Right. So is it?
So that's about 10 years, 11 years for Crimson Dawn, just about.
Right.
Well, hold on. 9 years from this until the Battle of Yavin, and then so about 11 or 12 years of her as the leader of Crimson Dawn.
Right. It's a lot of story.
That is, and honestly, do you think she turned Crimson Dawn into something good?
No.
We know she doesn't.
No.
Which I honestly think is with the War of the Bounty Hunters, it's one of the most interesting characters that I'm really hoping they don't keep the comics. Because how are you going to turn Han's original lover into a baddie and then just not bring it to live action?
It's such a fantastic actress. Emilia Clarke is great.
Yes. I concur.
I've said I'd love her in the Book of Boba Fett even, but I'd also love her to get her own show. I'd love to see her interact with Leia. How does that conversation go?
Right, yeah.
How does that conversation go with Han? You don't just leave that, it's answered to the comic.
Here's the thing, is we've seen Leia, because I don't know if you kept up with these when these comics were coming out. As a part of an old mission that Han was on, he had to fake marry someone, but this girl took it like literal. And her and Leia was like, he's my boyfriend, or I'm sorry, he's my husband.
This is a Legends comic, correct?
No, this is a canon comic. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember her name because I can remember her. She wore like a green jacket. I'm pretty sure. What was her name? Han Solo comic.
Sana,
yes. So basically, it was basically an arouse for a mission that her and Han were married, and if I can recall the comic, Leia was not happy about it. But could you imagine, like, come on, Kira and Han were boyfriend and girlfriend,
right?
Like, how would that conversation go?
Yeah,
it'd be crazy. But I do not keep up with Star Wars that much. And anymore, just because there's not a whole lot going on. I was about to say, what if Han met someone from Alderaan that dated Leia? Too soon. Still too soon.
Cara Dune. Sorry.
Oh no.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like I really want to see her reprise her role as Kira
because she's so good. She's great. And I'm really glad
her and Donald Glover definitely steal the show, the movie.
And I'm really glad that we're getting a Lando series too. And I definitely think it's going to star Donald Glover.
Yeah. Do you think we could see Kira there?
Possibly. I would really love if Lando though was like a bounced around a lot. Like it wasn't a chronological story. Like you know how in the movie Lando has the hollow thing, and he's got the Calrissian Chronicles. That's what the show should be called. Where like we go through his journey. How does he become so rich? His daughter. We know he has a daughter. I didn't even know he had a daughter.
Yeah,
until recently.
It's an offshoot line in Rise of Skywalker.
And I know there's a new book coming out. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
Yeah, but yeah. So I'm like, I didn't even know he had a daughter. But anyways, I want to see some of that. well, not what happened, but you know what I mean. Uh,
Hmm.
I want to see how we got Cloud City. I want to see like because a weird thing happens between this and Star Wars Rebels where he just becomes broke.
Yeah, really weird. I think it's because he loses the Falcon.
And you think he just goes into a deep state of depression.
Not that. I think he's just like so hurt that he like got bamboozled by Han, and then
Just lost everything.
and just kept losing. Like,
Okay.
what do you do in that case, bro? Like, yeah,
I
how
feel
does
that.
he become so broke?
Like dude just has pigs that blow up and Rebels
Puffer
on a farm.
pigs, puffer pigs, baby. They're the
Yes.
best.
So Alex, uh, to wrap this up, we want to do one good, one bad, and one bad. Um, I'll go first with the bad, and I kind of touched on it earlier. There's too many action sequences, way too many. Like, I get no time to breathe with the character of Han or any of them.
Right.
We go from Corellia. Okay, that's a great sequence, by the way, at the beginning of the movie with Lady Proxima and him leaving.
Yeah.
Okay, then we get him on Midban,
Yeah.
and then we get him with the train heist, all within like the first 45 minutes to an hour. And we
Yeah.
literally have no time to breathe. And within that time, they just kill Rio and Val. I was already loving Rio.
Yeah.
Rio was my guy.
Voiced by Jon Favreau.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, then screw you for killing him, man. Whoever killed him, that's an awful decision.
He dies in almost everything, bro. Come on now.
And then Val, I was like, oh, she's cool. I love how there's also a reference to Bosk. They talk about Bosk. They're like, why do we not hire him? It's just like, that's cool. It's a lot of good. I will say, I know I'm going on a tangent, but whatever. That's what this whole show is. Uh, but this movie, a lot of people had problems that it was like a checklist, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How did Han get his name? I didn't find it bothering me this time.
To me, and I'll go into my bad. This just should have been a book.
Okay.
I don't think it needed a whole movie. However, I am happy it was a movie because then it should set up a Solo 2.
Right.
So that's just what I'm hoping. I feel like it just would have benefited more from a book. But that's just me. It's honestly a pretty small bad in my opinion. So it's just.
And there were some checklist things that I didn't mind, and there were some that excuse me, there were some that I didn't mind, that there were some that I absolutely disliked. Han, what's your last name? Or what's your family name? Don't have one. Solo. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Like, that's just corny. The other one that I did like was the Kessel Run, because that fit the story.
Yeah, and it was also just so visually good.
Yes, it was. I love this. And this movie is also fairly funny. Like, L3 is great.
Yes. Which, that was one of the big criticisms. Oh my gosh, we had a feminist droid rights movement. And it's just like, okay, come on.
It was just a joke. It was funny. It was like a gag. It wasn't. I love when Kira's like talking to L3. She's like, "How does that work?" And L3's like, "Oh, it works," referring to Lando and them. And I'm just there's a lot of innuendos in this movie that are just hilarious.
Yes, absolutely. I love the humor in this movie. It's so good.
It's better than most Disney Star Wars movies.
It's better than most Star Wars movie humor.
Right. The Rise of Skywalker I still think is top notch, as bad as that film is. It has the best humor.
Like, there wasn't much humor in the original trilogy. There wasn't much in the prequels either. Jar Jar doesn't count, okay, bro? He wasn't funny.
No, he wasn't.
So,
Alex, keep talking. I got to blow my nose.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just say, Solo. I just think, oh my goodness, he even turned his camera off for this. Solo, as well as the humor was, I just think, I just think a book would have suited it better more than a movie.
Okay.
Because then it
My
would. Because here's the other thing is I don't feel like it would have felt so checkboxy.
okay.
You can be a little more thorough with things than in a movie.
But you're happy it was a movie.
Yes, but I'm still happy we got the movie nonetheless.
Okay. My Matt, we already kind of talked about. I didn't think Alden was fantastic. I thought he was good.
I loved him. I loved him.
I want him to play Han more. But I didn't feel like it was Han all the time.
Right. Yeah, okay, I get that. I think honestly, it's such a big adjustment from Harrison Ford to Alden. It's just like you're never gonna fully see Han Solo in him.
No,
you can't.
You're just not.
You can't. Hey, also, what's funny to me is Harrison Ford. I feel would always be defined as Han Solo, but he's not.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones or Han Solo. Isn't he in Maze Runner also?
Yes.
Those are like the three characters I know him as. I don't know him as any other role. Oh wait, no. What was the other one?
There was one 2048 or whatever the hell it's called.
It was the movie that he and George Lucas worked on.
American Graffiti.
American Graffiti. Okay, I always forget what it's called. It's
right.
I just remember that him.
Isn't Mark Hamill in that? Mark said that. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Right. I don't know why I thought that.
Which another? You have? Hold on. Another thing, since we're talking about, actors being, basically stitched with their roles. Mark Hamill not tied to Luke Skywalker.
Joker?
He's the Joker to most people, bro.
No, he's Luke to me. I just never see the Joker.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be Luke to me forever. But he's the Joker to a lot of people, which I find so cool. Or Trickster, because he plays Trickster in The Flash.
Yeah, it looks weird. That's all I'm gonna say.
It looks weird because you want to see him as, badass lightsaber guy.
Good. Or do you have a meh? Like, what was meh?
Val, and all that. I like Tobias Beckett, but Val, every other side character was there.
Beckett killed Orson. That's impressive.
I know. I want to see it. I want to see how he did it.
Do we get that in a comic? We probably do. That I don't know about.
No,
fake Star Wars fans.
We're just told that he killed it.
And my good, I think it's the best scene in the movie. Chewbacca's introduction.
It's scary, bro. It is terrifying. I was just like, oh, he almost kills Han a few times, bro.
I love the build up to it too, because we see Chewbacca as the big furry hairball that we all love. And I thought that was really believable. His relationship with Han, how it formed. I love the first scene when they're in the shower together, which is really funny. And Han's like, I can't call you Chewbacca. We'll call you Chewie. But yeah, that first scene, like Chewbacca's portrayed as the monster, and then they have him be friends because Han can speak Wookiee, and I was watching it subtitles, and it's like broken Wookiee. It's like take pipe off of ceiling. It's so bad. It's like bad Wookiee, but Chewie understands it. So I absolutely love that scene. I think it was my favorite of the movie.
Oh yeah, I think my favorite was the. Well, I have two. I'm gonna go with the obvious fan service is the mall scene.
Really?
Beautifully done. Okay, it was fan service, bro. It was like I don't think they'd ever bring him back in the movies or anything like that, and then they did. That was honestly when I first fully realized how just actually interconnected Star Wars is.
Yeah.
That if you didn't watch Clone Wars or you didn't watch Rebels, you were shit out of luck. You were gonna be confused.
It was the first time I ever felt that animation was finally recognized in movies.
Yes. It felt like Clone Wars was valid.
Right.
It felt valid.
For a long time, if you watch Clone Wars, you were just the weird. Yeah, I mean, we all watched it as kids, or especially my age group, and that was the show.
We are a year separated in age, and you think this splits us into age groups, bro?
It kind of does because you were more of a Rebels kid, and we never were. We never liked it because we were all Clone Wars fans.
How old are you again?
I'll be 18 in a month.
I'll be 17 in 2 months.
Right, which is
I'll say this.
weird.
I watched Clone Wars. I watched all 6 seasons growing up, but I was just never into it like that.
That was the topic of discussion, though. Clone Wars and The Flash when it was first coming out. I'll never forget 5th grade. That was the topic of discussion.
Every day, me and my friend Ryan at the time, all he would talk about was The Flash, and I was like, oh my goodness, if you don't stop talking about The Flash and let me talk about how good Clone Wars was,
right,
I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, but that's really weird. Rebels was your show. That's weird.
I think Rebels was just my show just because I actually had time to sit down and watch it when it was coming out. Clone Wars, I didn't always have time, so I always had to watch the reruns of it.
I remember Clone Wars. It used to be 9 p.m. Fridays, and then I think I can't remember what season. It was one of the middle ones. It was like Saturdays in the morning. I used to get up really early, and I used to watch it.
And that was the other thing is Rebels would always come on before I went to school, so I always had something to at least wake up to.
I'm trying to think what it came out on nights though. It came out on like Tuesday nights.
What, Rebels?
Yeah.
No, it didn't. It came out on Fridays. I could have sworn it came out on Fridays, and I always watched it in the morning because there was always reruns before then.
Right. Plus Disney XD was just weird.
It's a weird thing. Like, are they still producing shows for Disney Channel?
I don't think so. On Disney Channel, but Disney XD, I don't think. Does that even exist?
I don't know.
That was where like all the weird shows were.
Yeah, that's where all like the very kid shows were. Like very weird kid humor.
Yeah. All right. Crazy. Is that all you got for Solo? Because I'm ready to move into some of the smaller topics because there's some really interesting stuff.
Yeah. Again, for my rating for Solo, I'd probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh wow, I'm higher than you on it.
6.75.
I'd give it a 7.
Okay.
I felt like I was more negative than you, and I'm still giving it a higher score. I think you just judge movies more harsh than I do.
No, okay. I'll also say this. Okay, let me get into this. I'm taking the glasses off for this for dramatic effect, and I'm moving the light away from my eyes. I think when I compare movies, and I say a movie's middle of the run, I think of movies like when we compare it to the MCU. I think of movies like Black Widow, like a fun movie that you can just put on. Star Wars,
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Age of Ultron. When we think of it, the MCU is 26 movies long. Technically,
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, technically, when we look at the MCU now, the MCU is now technically like in like the near 40s because of the multiverse and whatnot. But in the core MCU, before multiverse and all that, we're at like what, 25, 26 right now? And when you think of the middle of the run movies, for me personally, I think of Black Widow, I think of Age of Ultron, all that.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. Those are all great movies. Those are all movies that's just like, yeah, if I had to rewatch them, I wouldn't complain about it. But when I think of Star Wars, there's 11 movies there. And when I think of middle of the run, I think of Solo, and I don't want to rewatch that.
Okay.
I think for Star Wars, once you get into like the top 4, that's like I can always rewatch that. But
I think for me, it's
like 5 and back. It's like if I had I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the original trilogy. If that's on TV, I'm definitely gonna watch it. If I'm just scrolling on my TV, or if it's I really want to watch it, those 3 right there. Revenge of the Sith, definitely. Rogue One, maybe. And that's my 5th favorite Star Wars movie. But even then, I'm like, do I really want to rewatch this?
Right, yeah. And I think
Force Awakens is 6th.
Yeah, and
which is a movie I need to rewatch because I think it's better than I originally thought. Solo's like 7. Last Jedi's 8. Jesus. And I don't want to rewatch those. Like if The Last Jedi is on my television, I am immediately I don't hate the movie. It's just like I don't want to watch it. Like if I have free time, it's something I don't want to rewatch unless we're doing a rewatch for it. Just how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm the same way. It's just like I don't. That's just it's so hard because when we're comparing Solo, you have to compare it to other Disney movies at the end of the day.
Right.
And I think
Other Disney Star Wars movies, more specifically, right?
yes, more specifically those. And if I were to put, we've had 5 Star Wars movies from Disney. Solo, yeah, probably if we're judging solely on rewatchability, not how good the movie is, not how how good the character, whatever. Solo just isn't up there. If I had to put all of the movies on in terms of rewatchability, Rise of Skywalker, it's a fun, fast-paced action movie. Now, is it a good story movie? Not really. Good character movie? Not really. But it's still a fun movie to just kind of sit back and just dumb out to.
Right.
Next up is Force Awakens. It's a good paced movie, good story, good characters.
I think the best sequel movie, my opinion, but whatever.
Last Jedi. Then I put Solo. It's action packed for the first like hour, slows down towards the end, then picks right back up. But it's like a little too much everywhere. Then I'd probably put Last Jedi, and then I'd put Rogue One.
And then Rise of Skywalker is dead last.
No, I'm not ranking the movies. I'm ranking them based on their rewatchability.
Oh, so would Rise of Skywalker be first then?
Yes.
Why is it the most rewatchable? Just because of its pace?
Literally just because of how fast it is, you'll never get bored.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. Well, guys, wow, it is time to move. I was trying something new with the board, but never mind. It is time to move into our it is time to move into our smaller topics, and our first smaller topic has to do with a one. Did you hear about this, by the way, Alex? A WandaVision spinoff. Okay, this was reported by Variety, so this is a Hollywood trade. If it pulls up, WandaVision spinoff starring Catherine Hahn in the works at Disney Plus. So right here, why is so many ads? A WandaVision spinoff starring Catherine Hahn is in development at Disney Plus for Marvel Studios. Variety has learned exclusively from sources. Hahn would reprise her role of Agatha Harkness in the series, which is described by sources as a dark comedy. Though the exact plot details remain under wraps, WandaVision head writer Jack Schaffer would serve as the writer and executive producer on the project. Should the spinoff go forward, it would be the first project Schaffer has set up with Marvel since she signed an overall deal with them in 20th Television in May. Alex, what do you think about this?
Like WandaVision, like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and like Loki. Unnecessary, but I'm still intrigued.
Okay. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Okay. I saw a video on TikTok. Okay. I'm going to have to go a little rambly, so I'm going to try to shorten this down a little.
No, go full ramble.
I had this guy on here was saying how unnecessary the show is. Agatha was a side character, but it's just like, so is Wanda. So is Vision. So is Falcon. So is Winter Soldier. So is Loki. So what is the point? Well, the point is, number one, we're getting brand new stories. First and foremost, brand new stories. And who's going to complain about that? Not me. But I was also watching a stitch to that guy's video of where this girl had said, Wanda and Vision were not side characters in any of their movies. And she's like, she was a side character in Age of Ultron and Civil War and Endgame. I'd say Infinity War, she was a prominent character, but even then she had like 5 minutes of screen time.
In Endgame, she literally has 2 minutes of screen time, and it's a fight with Thanos that has no depth. It's just a fight.
Exactly.
Oh, she beat Thanos. And by the way, we don't talk about leaks as much in this, but all I'm gonna say is we talked a little bit how she's probably gonna be the villain of Multiverse of Madness. I wonder how our fans are gonna react when she's literally gonna go full Darth Vader. Like she is the Darth Vader of the MCU. That's all I'm gonna say on that. How are our fans gonna react?
They'll justify it somehow.
They will. They're gonna be just as bad as Anakin fans, dude.
No, literally, people like when WandaVision was coming out and Episode 8 came out, people were saying because of that episode she was valid. I was just like, oh, I don't think grief justifies slavery.
Yep. Grief justifies enslaving a whole town. You didn't know that?
Oh yeah, and giving them like nightmares every single night, like her nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah, real fun.
By the way, I like Wanda Maximoff.
Yes,
I like her character arc.
Good
but her fans, her apologists are not great.
Terrible. Also, Vision, Age of Ultron, side character. Sorry, just because you're an Avenger doesn't mean you're a main character. Because literally, almost half of the MCU then are main characters because they were in Endgame. They're not.
Korg, Korg is the main character, guys.
Right? Yeah, it's like no, he's not. It's like Vision, Age of Ultron, Civil War. He wasn't even in fucking Endgame. Side characters again. He's only a main character in Infinity War because he had the Mind Stone. Right. That was it. Literally, the entire plot with Captain America. I'm sorry, with Steve Rogers at that time because he's not Captain America anymore.
Nomad Steve.
Yeah. The whole plot was based around Vision, literally because he had the Mind Stone. Take away the Mind Stone, useless.
Right.
Falcon, come on now. My boy in every single movie he's been in was a side character. Every single one. And again, it's also, people are placing this negative connotation around side character. Han Solo was a side character. He got his own movie from it.
Boba Fett
was a side villain. Getting his own TV show, had one of the biggest reactions to his return in The Mandalorian. Ahsoka. I'm trying to think. Lando's getting his own TV show, and he's a side character. It's just, again, it's like people are putting such a negative connotation over side character. That doesn't mean they were a bad character or, they had like no time in the movie. No, they weren't the main character. If you're not the main character or the main antagonist, guess what you are? You're a side character. The only time where that doesn't apply are big team-up movies like the Avengers, Justice League, and even then to those degrees, there are side characters in those main groups.
Yeah, and there are main characters in those groups. Like, the leaders of the, the Avengers focuses... Thor. Yeah.
The big three. They're literally called the big three because they're the main three.
Right. Yeah, but...
It's like...
Back to the...
Yeah.
Oh, good, keep going.
And then, again, Falcon was a side character. Again, he was not a prominent character like Steve was or Tony was. Or he didn't get 3 movies about him. Bucky Barnes. He was the villain
for one. Antagonist in one, yeah.
And yeah, even then, he was a brainwash, so he had basically little to no personality. And then again, Civil War. He's a side character. He's literally just a revolving plot. Like the plot revolves around him. But it's more or less it's the Steve versus Tony conflict about him.
Yeah, and then Infinity War and Endgame, he's just there.
Literally in Infinity War, he literally just walks through a portal. That's his most and he stands at Tony's funeral.
Right.
That's it. That's his most prominent things he does in that movie.
And then with Loki, while Loki is a big character in the Thor trilogy, he's still a side character and still mostly focusing on Thor and Asgard and Odin.
Dark World, Ragnarok. He's a side character. He's not the villain. And that's literally just it. He was the villain of 2 movies and then was sidelined. Again, does that mean he was a bad character? No, he arguably had the most depth in those movies.
Right. He's the best character in that trilogy.
Yeah, so it's like when you put a negative connotation over side character, again, Lando, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Wanda, Vision, all these people, they are still good characters. They're just not the main character. But now they're being the main character.
Right. So
that's where this whole thing of this Agatha show, people complaining. It's like, why are you complaining about it?
Yeah.
It's like Okay, is it my first choice to have a show made after Agatha Harkness? No, but I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Alex. And I actually have the same. I harbor the same thoughts as you do with this show. I wasn't a big fan of WandaVision, and I didn't think Agatha was a great villain at all. Sure, she has a catchy song and stuff, but she's only really prominent in 2 episodes. Well, I think she's good in episode 8. Episode 8, I think, is her strongest episode. Episode 9, the fight between her and Wanda was not as good to me as the fight between the two Visions. I preferred that fight.
Yeah, but I also think her best episodes were in order 8, 9, 7.
Yeah,
The rest you can literally put in any order.
yeah, I totally agree with that. And I'm like, okay. And I guess I'll talk a little bit what I think what I want the show to be about is I wanted to kind of tell her story. But my first initial thought was like, I kind of got enough of her backstory in WandaVision. With her
Yeah, the whole
killing all the
sale.
witches,
Yeah,
killing all the witches and stuff. But I'm like, hey, if there's a story back there, because she has a big tie to Doctor Strange in the comics. Obviously, she wouldn't have a tie to Strange in the 1600s, but maybe the ancient one, maybe
well,
other sorcerers
I
that
don't,
she
I don't,
knows.
I don't want to say it, but she also has a pretty big tie to Mephisto.
Correct. So I think what I would like this show to be is not just a prequel, but just tell a story throughout the centuries about her
Yeah,
as a witch.
and another thing, like we don't know. Again, it's an in the works thing. It's not 100% confirmed that Disney's going to go ahead and fully greenlight it. But still, Catherine Hahn was so good. Why would you not want more of her?
Right.
That'd be like saying, "Oh, I thought Luke Skywalker was really good in The Mandalorian. I don't want any more of him."
Yeah. Just
What?
why?
It just seems so backwards. It just seems like, oh, he was so good. I just don't want any more of him.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, then that doesn't make sense, but sure.
I think she'll be a multiverse of madness, and then I think this will probably happen. And I think John Campea, he was talking about it on his show. He was saying that Marvel does a good job of planning things out, just having everything organized. This doesn't seem planned. This seems
No.
reactionary,
This
but in a good way.
Yes.
But in a good way, and they'll make it work. They made Loki work, and Loki was very much key to the Phase 4 as a whole.
Yeah, and I also think like thinking about this whole key to Phase 4, it really feels like every project since the beginning of Phase 4, except one, and it has potential to be big for Phase 4. And that's Black Widow.
Right.
And I think it's literally just because it should have came out during Civil War's time.
Right.
The literal only thing that could make a huge thing for Phase 4 was the post-credit scene with Yelena.
Correct.
But even then, we'd have to see how Hawkeye turns out. And I think Hawkeye is going to be the big stickler of, probably not going to be a big thing for Phase 4.
I mean, babe, I disagree. But
well, hold on. I want to say that Falcon and the Winter Soldier turned out to be, we all thought, oh, this is going to be nothing. Who cares? And then all of a sudden, we're getting the Dark Avengers being formed in that show.
Right.
So literally, again, everything in Phase 4 so far has been huge. Black Widow and Falcon and the Winter Soldier are setting up the Dark Avengers. WandaVision just sets up everything. Young Avengers, Multiverse, Agatha Harkness show. It's just everything has had a purpose. And I'm kind of failing to see where Hawkeye is going to go, but never doubt my boy or his show. So
yeah, I agree. I trust in Feige, just like I trust in Filoni and Favreau. I trust in Feige
But here's the thing: my trust with Feige is a little bit more refined than it is with Favreau and Filoni.
Is it?
Literally, dude, it's the 3 F's of Disney: Feige, Favreau, Filoni.
Yeah, the kings. Yeah,
literal kings.
Yeah, but I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
the idea of this show. I'll watch it. I did love her character, but I'll definitely watch it. I don't have
Yeah.
complaints.
I do have a question for you at the end, and I'm going to try to remember it this time. So,
What is it about this or?
No, it's about something else. We might talk about it.
Okay.
Not it specifically, but we're going to talk about something related to it.
Okay.
You didn't send this week. You didn't send me what stories we were talking about, so I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh no, but I mean I was I should have reminded you, but I was sick, so I barely got this done in time. But anyways, you could always look at it. I've shared it with you. So
but what? I've never seen it.
You have the podcast itinerary shared with you.
Itinerary people. This is how official we become.
Yeah, I know. We're really official. 2 viewers per video. Time to move into our second topic. Our second topic revolves around Chloe Zhao. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She had some comments about the Eternals, and Alex,
Bingo.
can you talk about the Eternals promotion? Like, what have you thought of it?
So good! Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. This was actually what I wanted to talk to you at the end about. Was Eternals?
Okay. Yeah, just ask me now because I got to find the exact quote because I was not prepared.
I was kind of going for wanting like a lengthy discussion.
Oh, okay, but yeah, just continue talking about.
So this movie, people like from what's been coming out, people have been saying this is going to be one of the biggest movies since Endgame.
Right.
Like one of the biggest things that's happened to Marvel since Endgame. And it's like how, what is going to happen in this movie? It's the second longest MCU movie now, just like 20 minutes under Endgame, like 7 minutes over Infinity War. It's so. What is going to happen in this movie?
It's a long movie, dude. I'm excited.
And again, this like coming off of our side character talk. Who's the main character of these people?
Icarus.
Well, hold on. We think it's Icarus, but like, is it Ajax? Is it Cersei? There are some I can definitely cross off. Like Sprite's not going to be the main character. Fastos isn't.
Theta.
She could be. She's like my fourth place for who it potentially.
Is it Kinko?
Yeah.
Played by Kumail. Yeah.
Makari's not.
That's the speedster, right? I can't remember all their names.
Deaf speedster. Trying to remember all. It's also I'm like also trying to remember the names.
Yeah, but anyways, I found.
Hold on. I remember his name. I remembered his name. Druig. I think his name is.
Yes.
Like,
control guy. Yeah.
So like they're not going to be who like we know the main three of this movie are going to be, the guy Jon Snow, whatever his name is.
Oh, Dave Whitman.
Yeah.
Who's going to become the Black Knight?
Not in this movie though. That's all we know. It's not in this movie. Now, people.
Credit scene.
That's what I was gonna say. People have been speculating that not in the main run of the movie, but in the post-credit scene, we'll get him. What's the name of the blade that he gets?
Ebony.
Yeah, the ebony blade. Okay. I think it's gonna happen. But also, people have also been putting rumors that this movie is gonna somehow tie into Shang-Chi. I don't think that's gonna happen because this movie was originally set to come out before it. That takes some like huge refining of script and filming and editing to change it so fast. No, I don't think it's mutants.
Okay, well, we'll see. But Sophia Dago, this was a promotion to buy tickets. By the way, pre-sale tickets are doing fantastic. It is doing better than Shang-Chi and Black Widow did on its first day sale.
I saw the estimates for how much it was going to make.
I don't think it makes that much.
90 to I think it was like 110 mil.
I think it makes.
I'm putting my early predictions out before we do our predictions thing. I don't know when we're gonna do that.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, we still probably got about like a month or like 3 weeks.
3 weeks, actually 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just looked.
I think this movie's gonna make over 100 million.
Okay. Wow. Well, okay. Well, I won't say right away.
No. Early predictions right now. We're still 3 weeks away. So much can happen from now to then.
James Bond made a little less than 60. So I'm gonna say anywhere from 60. Venom. I don't know how Venom made the most out of. I don't get that.
Post-credit scene.
That's definitely not it.
No. Have you seen? Literally, all my For You page is flooded with is heard the Venom post-credit scene was big. Time to go see movie, and then it's literally slandering the movie while the movie's going. It's like it's terrible, badly paced, not a whole lot, too much happened too fast. Oh my god, that post-credit scene was so good.
Maybe, yeah.
It had to have been that post-credit scene. Definitely got a few mil.
I'm gonna say it makes anywhere from 60 to 90. I think it will make more than Shang-Chi. I don't know if it'll beat Venom yet. We'll have to wait and see.
Which is so surprising. Shang-Chi definitely so far has been the best Marvel movie this year.
Absolutely.
And it made more than Black Widow, right? Yeah,
Black
Widow, I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't think it did. It was close. Way. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But anyways, let's get back to the article. Fandango asked, in this new featurette, we learned that there are 5 of the Eternals are thinkers and 5 are fighters. I really like this, by the way. And Chloe said, I'm so glad you picked up on that because that was one thing I really geeked out about. The idea came up about how human society was structured back then. So if you think about it, there were fighters, generals, warriors, and gladiators, but there are also philosophers, inventors, priests, and healers. In a way, the Celestials planned it really well. Half the team will protect the humans from the deviants. It will protect the gate so they have a safe environment to develop. The other half will nudge them so they can advance and become strong enough to protect themselves one day. When that happens, they can go into the shadows altogether. Really interested there, Alex. What do you think? As I alluded to, I love this idea of the 5 fighters and 5 thinkers. And this quote from Chloe Zhao just shows how much she loves this film and how attuned she is with it. What do you think about it?
This also is very reminiscent of the comics, where something similar happened, where the Eternals left. They thought humanity was ready for them to leave, and then they weren't. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting, dude. I'm excited. So much, and I think another thing that I don't know if you ever found this, we're gonna be seeing. I think it's called Olympia. And
correct.
A whole new planet. I'm pretty sure it used to be a place on Earth. Like it used to be in multiple different places.
Because they're originally from Titan, but that wouldn't work.
Maybe. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
And then
also, let me
ask
you this. Let me ask you this. Okay. Do you think? Let me ask. Who do you think the villain of this movie is? I'm getting a weird suspicion, just with how marketing has been going. It's the Celestials.
I'm gonna say it's the Deviants.
Well, they're obviously like the villain, but who do you think is the
Icarus?
Why do you think it's Icarus, bro?
All right, I'm gonna say that the love triangle between Cersei, him, and Dave Whitman. I think he's gonna get pissed at Cersei. And he's got a really weird personality in the trailers, like really dead inside. Well, definitely a guy
that's the thing. It's like depending from picture to picture, trailer to trailer. He's either like what you see the picture right here. He looks dead serious, like he'll kill everyone in that picture right there. But then you go to the trailer where he's joking around with a kid that he doesn't have a cape.
Right.
It's just like, come on, man, you're sending some mixed messages right now.
Right. Yeah, but anyways, Fandango asks, something we always have to ask, should audience stick around after for something special in the credits? Chloe says, yes, don't just stay for the first one, also stay for the second one too. They are equally important in weight and both have big surprises for you. I definitely think we won't say what we think. Well, we'll make early predictions. The Black Knight, I think it is.
Yeah, here we come, the Black Knight.
And then mutants.
I don't think it's mutants, bro. Because here's the
thing.
Or
something with the Celestials.
Definitely something with the Celestials. It has to be. Okay. Right now, at least. Or I think it's setting up like the next big team-up movie.
Okay. I'm just looking right now to see if there's anything else that was big in this interview.
Again, from that interview specifically, I don't know, but I did hear a lot about her marketing and whatnot,
Yeah.
talking about it. So
Okay.
yeah, and right here
She
about
talks a little bit. She doesn't talk about the Celestials. Oh, okay. So right here she says, well, let's see. I think a big part of the audience will discover the origin of the MCU through the mythology of the Celestials. Okay, so that's really big to me. That right there. We only get one shot at the Celestials, so I didn't think they were going to play a big role.
yeah.
I think based on her quote, they might play a bigger role. And
Well,
this shot of the
yeah,
trailer was great.
yeah.
I
I think.
love this.
Well, here's the thing: is we've seen in the MCU, we've seen multiple Celestials before. Of course, we saw easily the most recognizable Celestial was Ego, the Living Planet.
Right.
Um, But then again, we saw the one in Guardians. We saw, of course, all the Celestials we're going to see in this movie. And the trailers, I'm pretty sure we've seen two Celestials. We saw the one creating a universe,
Crazy.
which also, we're going to be seeing how the MCU was created. Um, do you think we're going to see the Big Bang? Do you think that? Do you think the Celestials made the Big Bang happen?
Yeah.
I think they're just
Yeah.
so advanced. How could they not?
Right.
Um, yeah, it's just yeah, it's just a
And I
lot going
believe
on.
uh, Chloe says that 40% of the movie is in the past, 60% in the present.
Yeah,
So we're gonna get a lot. We're gonna get a lot of the past MCU, and I'd really like them to explain the cosmic side because we don't
yeah,
have a lot of the cosmic side. And I
yeah.
think that this movie is going to be big for that, but also at the same time explain the Celestials, its connection to Earth, and maybe
Hmm.
tease the mutants or
Yeah,
continue to tease out some other things.
and another big thing that I think something I hope we get explained in this question is what the fuck happened to Nowhere?
Right,
How did that man's head get severed? Well, I
right.
know we know how it happens in the comics, but how did it happen in the MCU? That is the
I'm gonna say it's another
Celestial.
Celestial.
I have a theory on it. Okay,
Who
I
is
have a.
it?
I think. Well, first of all, we have to get the question: do you think the Eternals are actual like humans, or do you think
No,
they're like robots?
no, the robots.
I think. I think they were humans. I think they're gonna follow what they did in the comics, where they basically when they created humans and whatnot, like when we were on our transition phase of coming from apes to humans, and then they split us off into the deviants and then the humans and then the Eternals. I think that's what happened is the Eternals because they've been there for 7,000 years. Um, so that's where I'm at least is I think they were humans that they created into Eternals. Um,
Okay, and when they get that stone powery thingy,
that's when like all their memory gets reset because we see it happen a lot in the movie or in the trailers. We see it happen twice.
right?
So I think there's
Okay,
I think previously there was a conflict between the Celestials and the Eternals, and Nowhere had its head severed by one of the Eternals.
but not okay. Okay, I
Thena, maybe.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So it's a theory. I'm mad.
Okay,
I'm mad.
it is now time to transition into our third smaller topic, and this has to do with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. This comes to us from Deadline. By the
Adam.
way, the original report was from the Cosmic Circus. Lizzie Hill over there originally broke the scoop a day earlier, but a Hollywood trade confirmed it. Guardians
Warlock.
of the Galaxy 3,
So many
Will
ads.
Poulter to play Adam Warlock in the next installment of the Marvel franchise, and this is Adam Poulter. Do we have a picture of Adam Warlock? There's no picture of Adam Warlock. But yeah, guys, Will Poulter is going to play Adam Warlock in the next installment of the Marvel franchise. So this confirms uh, two big things. He Warlock is officially in the MCU. I know I can't. What are the gold people's names?
The Sovereigns.
Sovereign Lady named him Adam. We kind of knew it was going to be Adam Warlock. We didn't get it teased out anymore until now,
Well,
where
hold
he's
on. I don't know, because people were saying that there was a tease of Adam Warlock in Guardians 1. I never have seen an Adam Warlock tease in that movie.
he was in the cocoon. Let me see if I can.
No,
pull it up.
that was in Guardians 2. That was in the
No,
post-credit
no,
scene.
it's in the collector's office.
Hold on.
Adam Warlock. See.
Guardian 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in Guardians 1 you can see him. Well, it's a tease at him.
No, you can only see him in 2.
I remember somebody
no.
talking.
You look. There's no way this is an Adam Warlock reference. This is not an Adam Warlock reference. This is a stretch at its finest.
It's the weird cocoon thing in his office.
But that's not him, because we see the cocoon with the Sovereign.
Right, but people thought, yeah, whatever. Anyways.
No, that it wasn't. No.
Anyways, they've been teased. They teased it in the second second Guardians, and now
very specific tease in Guardians 2.
He's going to be in Guardians 3. Alex, what do you think? What do you think of the casting? I haven't seen Will Poulter and everything, but he looks a lot like Adam Warlock in the comics. So
controversial pick to have Will Poulter be him.
What's up? Why do we not like Will Poulter here?
Not controversial on my side. I didn't know who he was before this casting, if you want to be honest. People were literally going to march down if Zac Efron did not get casted as Adam Warlock. Have you seen him Zac Efron next to Adam Warlock in the comics?
I haven't.
You should look it up.
I feel like this is, I probably would have never guessed this, but this is a good choice.
I'm excited. I mean, here's the thing. He is like, if I remember from the comics, he is like a rival to Thanos.
Correct. And he is very much like Vision in the sense that he is the Soul Stone.
Yeah. It's like, what do you think? What do you think his role is going to be? Do you think he's the villain?
So there's a couple ways. There's one way that I really wanted to go. He fights Thor in the comics, right? At one point. So I think he's going to start off as a villain. I think he's going to whip the Guardian's ass. But I think he's also being controlled by the Sovereign.
Yeah.
And once he gets out of that control, but first I think he fights, I want to see him fight Thor. Like these two.
Well, is Thor going to be in Guardians 3?
I don't think it's been confirmed, but I feel like he's got to be.
Because we know the Guardians will be in Love and Thunder. We saw the behind-the-scenes stuff with Chris Pratt and all them there. So
right. I feel like it would make sense if he said the third Guardians.
I would too. They're the Asgardians of the galaxy. So
especially if Jane Foster's the new Thor, maybe he can let her deal with that stuff, and he could just go off and.
Well, if you literally think about it, bro, and I saw this thing on Instagram, and it's changed, and it's hurt my head ever since. Thor has been a member of the Avengers, the Revengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Guardians of the Multiverse. There was another one on there.
I think that was it.
No, hold on. Avengers, Revengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Multiverse.
That's it.
I could have sworn there was a fifth one.
Now it's 4. But anyways, I want to see him fight. I want to see Thor versus Adam Warlock. And then I think Adam Warlock, because I think it's kind of alluded to that he's going to play this character for a while or a little bit. I think Adam Warlock, because this is the last Guardians film, I think he'll become the leader.
Is it?
Yeah, this is it.
Are we sure we're not getting Guardians Volume 4?
I'm sure, but it will be something new.
Why is it the last one?
It's a trilogy.
Are you sure we're not getting anything more?
This is where I was going with it, Alex. I think Adam Warlock will become the leader of the new Guardians, with a bunch of other cosmic.
Look, let me, Drew? Oh, no. Drew.
Uh,
There you go. I
but
can hear
okay.
you, but you're very frozen.
You can hear me
There you
though?
go.
Okay.
Yes,
Whatever.
you're just a little pixelated now, but let me ask you this, okay? What if let us off with the Guardians of the Multiverse? Do you think
Right.
we'll see them in live action?
Probably not. Not right
And
away.
and another small thing. What do you think would have to happen to bring the Guardians of the Multiverse back?
Uh, I'm not sure really. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Do
I
you
think it's
think
something major.
do you think that that little universe with Killmonger and Zola opens up?
Uh, probably, probably.
Because here's the thing: is like, what's gonna happen with the child Star Lord?
You can't,
Can't bring him
can't.
back.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, but back to Adam Warlock. Yeah, like I was saying, I think he becomes the leader of the new Guardians team. Uh, I still think Star Lord will be on it. Groot. I think Drax and Rocket are dead. I think Gamora and Nebula, probably more specifically Nebula, will be doing something on her own. I think probably Gamora and Nebula go together. I think Star Lord's just by himself again. Um, and am I missing a member? No, I think I got them all.
Well,
Yeah,
hold
that's
on.
what
Gamora.
I said. Gamora and Nebula go together.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear you say Gamora. I thought you. Sorry.
No, but
I
yeah,
was
what do you
like,
what do you what do you think about Will Poulter as Adam Warlock? And what do you think Warlock's role is going to be in Guardians 3?
I don't know, dude. He's a huge character in the comics. I don't know how you do justice to someone like that in live action without his big counterpart too. Do you think, or could we see Adam Warlock find out that, like, we see like the Sovereign's reaction, you know, with the snap and whatnot? Um, do you think, like, what do you think happens if we Adam Warlock finds out that Nebula and Gamora are the children of Thanos?
I don't know if well, you'd have to kind of build that hatred for Thanos. So I don't think that's going to be the case. No.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
I just think the Sovereigns are going to go at they're pissed. So they're
Oh
just going
yeah.
to send Adam after him.
Which, like, I don't know how I feel about us picking right up like from Guardians 2. Like, I don't like the Sovereign. They were kind of dumb.
Oh, you mean in the set? Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like they were. I thought you were saying something else, like they were like intimidated, but like you didn't need them again. But you're just
No.
saying they're dumb in general.
Yeah, like I like dumb to the point like I don't want them again.
I don't think we'll get a lot of them, but I think it would just be mostly Adam Warlock, but just like acted as like a robot almost, and then he has to get out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I really got about that. And our final topic is about Kumail Nanjiani, his comments on Kenobi. And this is really interesting, Alex. I don't know if you've heard about this, but
Kenobi.
uh,
Yeah.
I gotta find it. But I should really come to prepared for these. Uh,
Wow. Not even I'm this unprepared, dude.
no, I know. Okay, so he says we haven't seen this exact thing in Star Wars yet. This is like a new version of a type of Star Wars character you've seen before. This is him referring to his conversation with Deborah Chow when he got the role. He talks about being with Ewan McGregor, uh, and yeah, he was so ecstatic. He was like a kid. He also talks about my character supposed to be a little bit intimidated by him, and I was a little bit intimidated. You know, it's fucking Obi-Wan. What are you gonna do? So I thought that was a really neat interview by Kumail.
Hmm.
Uh, Alex, what are your thoughts on this interview, and what type of character do you think he could be playing? Because I got a little interesting tidbit from somebody I follow in their Discord.
I don't know. Okay, like Kenobi's surrounded by so much mystery. I just want a trailer, bro. Just want a trailer.
Disney
I
Plus Day.
I know. I literally just want any information, like official information that I can. I don't know if we're going to be getting him as a new character, if he's going to be making some appearance. I just don't know, and it's killing me that I don't know anything about the show because I'm so excited.
I think there are two options with Kumail. I don't think he's watched Star Wars Rebels. I'm just gonna flat out say he probably hasn't watched the animated shows, so he could be played an Inquisitor, a type of character we've seen, but in a different way. So a Sith, but it's an Inquisitor instead. It's not exactly a Sith; it's still a dark side user. So I think Kumail could be an Inquisitor just because he probably hasn't seen Rebels, or some tidbit I got a Discord from somebody who creates content on YouTube who has sources. They've speculated that it's...
name drop him right now.
You want me to name? No, I'm not gonna name drop just because I don't want to. Don't want to.
So rude.
Ashahard Het or Darth Krayt in the Obi-Wan comics from Legends. Obviously a scaled down version. It wouldn't be Darth Krayt, they were saying. But it would be like...
I hope not.
I would, yeah, same. It would be like just a Jedi that abandoned the Order or something along those lines. And he would be shocked to see Obi-Wan still alive. Alex, what do you think? What do you think of those two options?
Well, first of all, if it was Darth Krayt, I'd be utterly disappointed. I don't think Darth Krayt needs to happen right now.
I should clarify. It's not Darth Krayt.
It's not. It can't be. I'd be very, very sad if it was.
Yeah, so this person says that I was told that Braden Het into Obi-Wan Kenobi series was one of the earliest ideas Deborah had.
Good honor.
And Kumail is shredded, and Ashahard Het is really shredded in the comics. He's a survivor of the Purge. According to this person, this is the synopsis for the show for Kumail. Kumail's character, Ashahard. He's a survivor of the Purge, living as a warrior on Tatooine amongst the Sand People. So, I was thinking back to The Mandalorian, Alex. You remember how we had those theories that Boba Fett was living amongst the Sand People?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that's what the way they're going to go with Ashahard Het. That he's a part of the Sand People now. They're not going to go the Darth Krayt route, but he's a Jedi who survived the Purge, also on Tatooine, who sees Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is a legend, probably in the Jedi Order. What do you think about that idea?
I'd be down for it, dude. Like, no joke.
I'm not too fond of another Jedi.
Okay, but like, what kind of interaction would that be? Do you think it would have to be like, he would like rat out Obi-Wan's location, so we would have to kill him?
I think it'd be more so on the lines that Kenobi fights Sand People in the comics, the canon comics. He could be fighting the Sand People one time, and he senses one of them has the Force, and they have a little skirmish, but ultimately they end up being friends and understand, oh, Ashahard Het could be like, you're Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're still alive, and they could team up and work together for a little bit until Like, I feel like the first couple of episodes of Kenobi is going to be like, what is Obi-Wan's mission and objective? How does he get off of Tatooine? And then the rest of it is just an adventure. So I feel like Ashahard Het would be in episodes early in the season, and then he wouldn't be in the rest of the like he wouldn't help out. Like, he wouldn't be there when he fights Vader. Like, he's just going to be a small, minor character for a couple episodes.
I don't even know. Okay,
again, that part there was just rumor. This is just us speculating on what character Kumail could be playing, but I think it's either an Inquisitor or a weird Jedi that lives among Sand People. I think it's probably
you know
an Inquisitor.
Have you played Fallen Order?
I haven't in a while, yeah, but yeah.
Well, you have played it though.
Yes. Oh, dude on Dathomir.
Yes. Why can't I remember his name? I simped for him when I first saw him. Talos? No, that feels like a Marvel thing.
Yeah, you're talking about the scroll.
Oh gosh, who is the guy you? Hold on, I can't see my keyboard. Fight on Dathomir in Fallen Order.
I could see that though, Alex.
Malicos. Terran Malicos.
Yeah, I could see that character archetype. Oh, did I kick him? He left. Alex left. Did you leave on accident?
I just. I had 3 tabs open and I tried to close one of them, but I didn't realize what tab I hit the X on.
It was the StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Yeah. This is gonna make my editing job really fun.
What do you mean? Just like leave it raw, bro.
Yeah, leave it raw. I guess I got it. But yeah,
it's what happens. It's what happens when you watch the show.
That's what she said, by the way. But anyways, go ahead.
What? What do you mean?
I'm not gonna.
She said.
I don't know why. Okay, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Who's she and who said it?
I don't know.
Okay. I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry, I just got completely thrown off by what I just said.
Right.
What did I say?
You were talking about
Terran Malicos.
Yeah.
Sorry. How I combined his first and last name and somehow got a Marvel character. So yeah, I would I'd be down for a person like that though. Not a Jedi, not a Sith. Kind of a hater of both, honestly.
Okay.
So
somebody living amongst the Sand People, I think, would be really cool. That's a Jedi or Sith. It deals with Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Ooh, what about from Star Wars Visions, a Ronin-esque character?
Yeah.
His lightsaber blade is red.
Right. By the way, have you finished Visions?
No. I still only watched that episode.
That's funny. By the way, that's going to wrap it up for our Obi-Wan topic. I just wanted to share this funny thing that I saw on Twitter today. Alex, I know this is just hilarious. This is a Disney Plus Latino America account.
Okay.
And they're doing a red flag thing, right? It's a red flag if they're this. And remember, this is from a Disney Plus official account. I'm going to translate the tweet now so you guys can read it in English. The latest Star Wars trilogy is the best.
Oh, Michael's comment reply. No.
Yeah, I thought I Rexed it around.
No. That's terrible, bro. Oh,
it has
jail.
It has. I just find it so funny that Disney Plus is. It's an official account. Its own account.
So
its own company.
Is this supposed to be a diss?
Yeah, it's a red flag if your favorite trilogy is the sequel trilogy.
I don't think that's what that means, but it certainly feels that way.
No, that's what it means. It's like it's a red flag. Like if you're talking to somebody or want to date somebody, like, oh, it's like a joke on Twitter. Why is this a thing? Why? This is funny, but why?
It's terrible, bro. That's awful. I
just find it funny because people are gonna run with it and be like,
even Disney agrees it was bad.
I couldn't stop laughing because it has 47,000 likes. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Somebody said base Latino man gonna get fired.
Yeah.
Even Disney says the sequel.
Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Get your resumes ready. It looks like a social media video is about to become available soon. That's awful.
They're right. This is hilarious, but they're absolutely right. Baby, what are you doing? Why would you tweet this? The Fandom Menace. Yeah, that's funny.
Literally, Disney's contributing to the Fandom Menace, bro.
It's like Jeffrey Bezos tweeted that Amazon is shit. and some people are just like I think it's funny. I'm not gonna
Oh
get butthurt
yeah,
about it. Somebody's like, imagine alienating an entire section. Like, have some fun in your life.
exactly.
I think it's just
And
hilarious.
it's also a thing like Disney probably knows some fans like 50% of the fans don't like those movies.
I would even say 50. It's way like more fans like them than dislike them. Like
But like on social media,
hardcore,
like the
hardcore.
like the voice of social media, well, it's about a 50-50 split.
Yeah,
Um
definitely. I'd agree with that.
um so there's no point to like be so bitter about it.
There's
Like
no way to
even
quantify it, but yeah, I could agree
yeah,
with that. Yeah. And
even the MCU's like that. Like come on now. Like
like,
the Deadpool jokes, that whole Deadpool and Korg commercial.
yeah.
Like, come on. It's literally Disney like having fun with the fans. Like, okay, you guys saw all the stuff, like we're gonna have fun with it. And
Yeah.
I would honestly rather have Disney have fun with it than be like stubborn and be like, I don't want you to say that about our stuff.
Right. It's just so funny. Like people were upset that like, oh, like one side's gonna run with it like it's an actual thing, even though it's like a trend, it's a meme, and then the
Mhm.
other side is gonna run with it like, oh, you gotta stop making fun of this trilogy. Everybody makes fun of it. It's just like, who cares? It's a funny joke. Alex
I
and I
know.
laughed at it. We thought it was hilarious, and we thought people's response.
As a sequel fan, I didn't
Yeah,
care.
and
Because again, I don't. It's not fun if you are just so uptight and stubborn about things,
like it's
bro.
funny. Like Alex knows I'm a big I shit on Rebels sometimes, he'll shit on Clone Wars. And it's just a funny gag we like to do.
Exactly.
We don't hate the shows.
Right. Yeah. It's some people, man. The
Yeah,
people are just so tight on both sides that you're just like, come on now.
yeah, definitely. But that's gonna wrap up the show, guys. Listen, the month of October's been weird. I just need a Disney Plus show back. I need to actually talk about new content.
It feels so weird. It honestly kind of feels like it's kind of hard wanting to come on the podcast and talk because there's nothing to talk about.
Right, we have to rewatch movies and stuff. I can't wait. We got Hawkeye in a month. The month of
Yes, I'm.
November, things will ramp up, and then we'll want to kill ourselves in December with all the content, but in a good
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. And
Uh,
especially 2022 as well, because we're gonna get some gaps in content there too.
yeah, definitely.
For now. So
Definitely. This is a break. This is a little break before we get the craziness.
it is,
Uh,
and hey, we got this when we came from Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Loki, and we went just as we went just as crazy for it too.
yeah, right. I
Yeah.
can't wait for the conversations for the Book of Boba Fett because it would be the first live action show for Star Wars that you and I have talked about. So it's going to be really fun.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
yeah, so we had great conversations about Agatha Harkness getting her own show, Adam Warlock officially being cast in the MCU,
It's
Kumail,
been Agatha all
oh la la.
along.
Should that be the show name?
That'd be such a good show name, bro. Come
I
on.
like Harkness better. Just
No,
Harkness.
it should be. It was Agatha. I think if you say it's been Agatha, that kind of. I think it was Agatha all along.
Yeah. Okay. And then we also our main topic was the solo re-review, and Kumail's comments on Kenobi. So that's gonna wrap up the show, guys. Thank you for watching. If you watched live on YouTube, thank you. If you watch on the replay, thank you as well. If you want to watch smaller segments from this podcast, you can watch them. They'll be up either Thursday, later in the day, or Friday. So sign it off for now. Peace.